What's poppin', Rob Television? Welcome back to another reaction with your boy. As you can see by the title, man, yes, I'm back with another Larry Legend reaction video. Now, I know I gave y'all a scare in the previous video. I'm so sorry for that, man. How many of y'all was probably like, oh, man, I'm gone. I'm still watching his channel. I know a lot of y'all probably was. But I'm sorry for giving y'all that scare, man. That's a video I just have been wanting to make for a while. But like I said in the video, man, y'all know I could never be done with the legend, man. Like, because of you guys, like, have kept me really just interested in watching him, and it just turned into me actually becoming a big fan and just seeing so much that he did for the game and just seeing how great, I was gonna say good, how great of a player this guy actually was. So I love watching Larry, man. I would never stop. As long as the content is out there, I'm gonna watch it. So make sure y'all do me a good of assistance of whenever you find some Larry Bird videos, man, don't be scared to drop them down below. But as you can see by the title, man, we are here with Shawn Kemp shares Larry Bird's story, plus some takes on Dr.J dunks and much more, etc., etc., etc. But you know how we do it, man. I ain't gonna talk y'all. Definitely gonna get into this video. But before we get into this video, do me a big favor, man. Smash that thumbs up button. Also, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. Click that post notification bell. We know about all things Rob Television. Let's check it out. All right, you guys, do me a big favor, man. Before you get into this video, if you haven't already, man, follow me on all my social medias, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter. All the links will be down in the description. And if you wasn't notified on this from my previous videos, I also have a PayPal just in case you guys want to donate. Whatever the amount is, it don't matter. It could be 50 cents. You know what I mean? If you want to donate that, make sure you show me some love on that. PayPal link will be in the description as well. All my links for everything is in the description, man. Make sure y'all show that some love. Let's get into this video.
This video is brought to you by SimplySeattle.com. It's the only place to find the world's largest Seattle Supersonics gear. They have everything you could imagine to celebrate the Seattle Supersonics. Autographed pieces for the Rayman to boot. Shipping all over the world,
Rayman.
So let's keep the Seattle Supersonics dream alive at SimplySeattle.com.
Hey, this is Shawn Kemp, and you're checking out the Basketball Time Machine with Shawn David.
Hello and good day, everyone. How's it going? I'm Shawn David. Welcome back to the show. Thanks for tuning in. In today's episode, we got a true NBA legend, the Rayman, Shawn Kemp. Shawn, how you doing?
I'm doing great today. How you doing, Shawn?
Can't complain, can't complain. Shawn, I wanted to...
Also, would you guys be interested in seeing some Shawn Kemp reactions? Make sure you let me know that too.
To have a look back at your incredible NBA career, but I also wanted to start this interview off with a question that was a little bit before your NBA career. I wanted to know, who was your favorite player when you were a kid?
Oh, man, growing up, obviously I liked the game. I liked a lot of different players, but I think, the one player that probably stood out to me the most would be just Dr. J.
I knew it.
J. Yeah, Dr. J. I think at that time in that era, Dr. J represented what we were hoping for in life, which was hope and the ability to do lots of dunks.
Yeah. I can see that. Now, I was wondering, when you were drafted back in the days, what was going through your mind when you realized that you finally made it to the NBA?
Well, man, when I finally made it to the NBA, what was going through my mind is that this one, and I'll tell you real fast, it's, I looked at the team's roster the day I got drafted by Seattle Supersonics. I looked at the team roster and I realized I was the 12th man out of 12 men. So I knew then I had a lot to learn, and it was just going to be a lot of hard work. So, the one thing that I realized is that I wasn't ready to play in the NBA quite yet, but with hard work, I would be able to play real fast.
Now, obviously, becoming an NBA player was probably one of your dreams too, and then your rookie season, all of a sudden you're on the same floor as a Magic Johnson, as a Michael Jordan. I was wondering, were you nervous in your first NBA games, playing against those kind of legends?
Not necessarily nervous, but the one thing you have to mention is this, like growing up.
I know that it could be very nerve-wracking, though. You gotta understand, like, especially from coming up as a fan, 'cause, like, you start off a fan of the game before you get into before you get to the level as being a professional. And I know, like, watching those guys and then actually being able to step on court, with those guys, I know that there was a different type of feeling, especially with MJ, man. MJ just got that he just got that intimidating glow that when you step on the court with MJ, man, you gotta have your mind right.
And I was pretty well known at that point for basketball, so I I somewhat had a little bit of experience of playing against the pros. I had played against Magic Johnson before. I grew up from an area that another good player from the '90s is from Scott Skiles.
Oh yes.
Yeah, so Scott Skiles is generally from my area. So when Scott Skiles was at Michigan State, he would come back home and take me to some of these places and play with some of these older gentlemen. And I was years younger than Scott, but he thought a lot of me to be able to do this. So having the experience to see some of those pros like Magic Johnson, so I wasn't as shell-shocked maybe as some people would have been. But definitely, as the game starts playing and you see some of these guys do some of these fantastic plays out there on the court, you get caught up
especially in person
sometimes watching.
Was there any specific player that you were nervous about playing against? And I don't want to say nervous, but anyone you were looking forward to playing against?
Yeah, absolutely. One guy I was looking forward to play against was Moses Malone.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, Moses Malone, man. He was, another guy who came from high school to the pros. But also, I will tell you this, Moses was a great player. I was looking forward to playing against him. He maybe wasn't the best player at that time, but I definitely had a lot of respect and look forward to playing against him at that time. Back then in the early '90s, the guys that I looked up to was pretty much all-star guys at that time. Karl Malone, Bernard King.
Oh, nice.
Bernard King. So when I start seeing some of those guys out on the court, it sends chills down your spine because you've watched them on TV, but you haven't met them, you haven't played against them, and now you're having to guard some of these guys. So it's definitely a learning curve, man. And you do it with a straight face, but you're smiling underneath your skin because you're playing with a lot of the greats.
Now, you touched the topic earlier that you liked Dr.J for his dunks, for example. Now, since you are a player that is not only remembered for his incredible dunks, but also remembered because of his incredible dunks, do you remember who or in what game you had your first NBA dunk?
Yeah, my first, I was told to tone it down a little bit on my dunks when I first got into the NBA because they didn't want too much ketchup, they didn't want too much mustard. So coach was basically like, tone it down a little bit. Don't do anything crazy. Don't do anything that's going to embarrass yourself. So I actually waited for a while. I didn't get a dunk for about 2 or 3 weeks into the season. But my first big dunk really came in New York when we played at the Garden.
Oh, are we talking about the...
Or does it seem like it's like when basketball, like a lot of people, like as far as individual players, like they have their best games or their most memorable moments are always in the Garden. Like it's crazy. Like I hear a lot of players, like even if you ask, like if you watch interviews like from players back, like from players of the '80s and the '90s, or players like even from from like my generation now, and a lot of people say that their favorite place to play at is the Garden. Like, man, why? I guess because it's just a global stage, but why everybody go crazy in the Garden, man?
Talking about the pump.
The double pump dunk. That was like one of my first big dunks.
That was nice.
Matter of fact, I can tell you this. That one dunk led to 43 dunks in the next 30 days.
So you were counting.
Nice.
I was wondering.
If I was the coach then, I would have told him,
But man, if that New York dunk was one of your
show
first
him a little
dunks,
ketchup
that
and
was
some of the
some
mustard.
sort of introduction.
a little mayo in that too.
Absolutely. You couldn't have picked a better place to do it at other than the Garden.
Nice.
Garden.
Now, you touched the topic earlier that you had a hard time in your rookie season. Obviously, you didn't play in college. You came to the NBA. You were super young, and all of a sudden, you're on the same floor as those grown men in a league where age was something good and positive. How tough was it for you to accept the role, coming off the bench, being patient, waiting for your turn? How tough was that for you as a young person?
As a young guy, man, first it was pretty easy to accept. I mean, there's so much going on, but then all of a sudden you get the vibe of you just want to be out there on the court playing. So you generally go through a learning education process of trying to learn the procedures of what these guys do. But then watching the game, you say to yourself, man, I'd rather be on that court than sitting on the sideline playing. So then you realize, you say, I got to do something good. There's something good I got to learn how to do really good. And it's up to each individual. But for myself, I just took the assistant coaches, and we just worked on everything from shooting, from footwork, from my body getting stronger, to me finishing off plays even better. The one thing that I never wanted to be known for is just dunks.
Yes.
So it was important for me to be able to show people that I could do pretty much everything on a basketball court: dribble, pass, for a big man, and at that time that was a little bit unusual. At that time, most big men just kind of block shots, rebound, played their role. So, I feel pretty good by the transformation of the big man. Hopefully I had something to do with that, because at one time in the NBA, it was really the big man didn't get a chance to dribble. The big man didn't get a chance to shoot threes or any of that. It took guys like myself, I think, to really convince people that the big man have enough athletic ability to do some of those things and do it very well.
Yeah.
Well, it's crazy to see the growth
back in the days,
man.
obviously, big man, the priority was something else. But I never thought of you as a one-dimensional player. The one thing that I've always found that was a little bit underrated, actually, you were an incredible mid-range shooter, and I saw that in your second season. I mean, I did a lot of research. Your second season was also your sort of coming out year. You were averaging 15 points, 8 rebounds, and you had a nice stroke from mid-range. And I feel that this needs to be highlighted because, you were dangerous from there. They couldn't give you any space.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, if you ask me the one thing that I took great pride in on a basketball court, I would definitely say my mid-range game. To be able to shoot the ball anywhere from 18 feet on in. It's something that you just don't see, even in today's game.
Oh, yes.
Today's game, the best mid-range shooter is probably Kawhi Leonard.
Yes.
He's probably the best mid-range game. So my game would revolve a lot around his.
Mid-range game is a very lost art in today's NBA, and I would agree with him on that as far as consistently that I see shooting it at a high level, and like I said, that's consistent with it is Kawhi. So I can agree on that.
Finding shots and trick shots. And
I've said that
like
in many of my
basket,
other reactions too.
Not stretching it out to the three-point line, but being able to be, shoot a high percentage of volume of shots anywhere from 18 feet on in.
Now, since we're talking about shooting, I have 2 questions marked with red capital letters. I had to squeeze that questions in somewhere. So, you're from Indiana, and there's also another great shooter also from Indiana. I know that you know who I'm talking about, Larry Bird. I read some funny things on the internet, and I had to ask you if it's true. Did Larry Bird trash talk you and put a lot of noise into your ears?
Of course Larry Bird trash talked me and put a lot of noise in my ear. That's what he was supposed to do. Here you have this young kid coming up trying to be the next best thing out of Indiana. He did exactly what he was supposed to do. He trash talked me to death. He told me exactly what he was going to do to me before the game started. Then he went out and he did exactly what he told me he was going to do, which was about 42 points in 3 quarters.
Yeah, that was a mean game. That was a mean game.
True introduction to the NBA.
But it's also very unfair because he played against you when you were in your baby shoes, and you guys never played against each other when you were in your prime. And I'm pretty sure if you guys would have been at the same age.
For Kemp, I feel so sorry for him because, of course, Bird trash talked everybody. Like, nobody got away from the treatment. Bird was on everybody. But I feel like with Shawn Kemp, it could have became a little bit more personal, you know what I mean? Because by them both being from Indiana, it's like Bird was like, no, I'm going to be the best. Bird always wanted to be the best, and, period, like whether it was in the league or not, or whatever. But for him to say like I want to be the best from Indiana, like I even if Shawn Kemp could have even had his mind like I don't even care about being the best from Indiana, but Bird probably already had it made up in his mind that no, I want to be the best from from Indiana, so I got to kill you every time I play. Like you don't get no games off. I ain't gonna come out there and play left-handed with you. Like no, it's gonna be attack, man. 42 points in 3 quarters. Just imagine if he would. I'm pretty sure he probably didn't even play the 4th quarter. So
It could have been a really, really interesting battle.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the way that worked was like this. The first year that I played against Larry Bird, he scored 40 points on me in 3 quarters. It bothered me so bad that I actually took a picture of him and put it in my bathroom.
No way.
And every morning I would get up just to look at him. The next year that we played Larry Bird, we played the Boston Celtics, it was here in Seattle. We played him at the Kingdom. So I told the team, I said, well, I'm going to give him back what he did to me. So I ended up having 16 dunks that game. I wouldn't even shoot a jump shot. Everything I would do would just be a dunk.
Did you say 16?
Yes.
Are you serious?
Yeah, halfway during the game, Larry Bird said something to me that stuck with me forever. And I still tease him about this when I see it. He told me, he says, I think I'm ready for retirement.
You got to be...
Of course he was ready, man. A little comeback, a little get back at me. So, it was. I think that back then it was. We took things pretty serious. When a guy was able to score a lot of points on you, 40 points or 35 points, you really took that personal. At the time in the 90s, the NBA was really a defensive-driven league.
Yes.
Guys who played very good defense really got a lot of respect. Guys like Dennis and Carl and these guys were very, very physical. Throughout the years, the NBA has become an offensive league now.
Yeah.
You're naturally used to seeing these guys score 40 and 50 points. But at one time, it really wasn't like that. And when a guy did score that many points on you, you really took it personal and tried to do something about it.
Man, that's crazy. It just be crazy hearing. That's why I love doing these raps, because it'd be crazy hearing. These are stories that goes unknown that people don't even know about. It's people like Sean David that gets these guys put those stories out there. But like him saying that he took a picture of Larry Bird and put it in his bathroom. Because you go to the bathroom. Bathroom's probably the first place you go to in the morning just so he can look at Larry Bird and say, "You got it coming next season or next time I play you." So that's dope. But as you guys can see, that is it for this video, man. If you did enjoy this video, do me a big favor, man. Smash that thumbs up button. Also, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. Click that post notification bell. We notify on all things Rob Television. I'm out this thing, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Gang.